the book I'll load. Let's do, you know, we had karaoke last night here at this conference. So for those of you at home, you missed out on a great time. Karaoke, dancing. So I have this book, A Sense of Dance, which talks about dancing. It's where I've learned all my dance moves from. All right, and I'll load this book. This book is 216 pages long, okay? And this is a DAISY book. Now, why do I like a DAISY book? So you ask, can you put it into Microsoft Word? You could get it into Microsoft Word, but I would recommend using these DAISY files. So for example, if I want this font to be bigger, I'm going to increase the font size. And I do that by clicking the A with the up arrow. Okay, and I can make this as big as I want. Okay, so that's a pretty nice size. All right. So if I'm in Microsoft Word, notice how this is page 3, and I'll go to, let's go to page 4. Okay, this is page 4. We'll go back to page 3, which is What is Dance. Okay, now if I shrink the font, okay, and I go back to page 3, notice how it's the same page. Okay, so what happens if you're in Microsoft Word and you do that? Okay, page 3 just became page 10, maybe page 11, maybe page 12. How do you give assignments for your students? Do you say, read pages 4 through 10, font 24 in Microsoft Word? No, you say, read pages 4 through 10. So what's nice about these DAISY books is that it's always going to be page 3 no matter what it looks like, which I think is really nice. There's also other nice accessibility features in here, like if I had a picture in here, it would read the picture, what was in the picture for me. Okay? And I can show you how that works. All right? So it creates a DAISY file. And so here's my DAISY file. And I simply place my cursor.
What is dance? True and false. Dancing is always done to music. True and false.
I hope it's always done to music, but not always. Okay? So that's my DAISY file. I'm in Read Out Loud now, and I have some DAISY files. The other nice thing that's unique to Read Out Loud is that it allows me to manipulate this text really fast and easily. Our main goal with Read Out Loud is that you could bring in text and make it accessible to a student within seconds. Our other main goal is that I can train anybody on this product within 30 minutes or less. And I think that's a really key goal because nobody has time to learn a complicated product these days, especially educators in the classroom. You guys have enough to deal with already, right? And to learn a complicated product is real difficult. So what's nice about this is that we have these e-text styles. So I can go in here and I can change the way this book looks and feels dependent on the student that's using it. And I can do that with one click. So for example, if I wanted large yellow text on black, so that high contrast, maybe I'm working with a student with low vision. With one click, notice what it did. It changed my font, changed my background color, text color. It actually changed the spacing in between sentences. And actually, there's probably roughly 10 things that it changed. Now, how would you do this in like a Microsoft Word or another application? Well, you'd have to go in and change background color, change text color, change font, change spacing, change, right? And it would probably take you maybe 20, 30 minutes to do that. So my goal is to train you within 30 minutes, and I can't spend 30 minutes training you how to do this. So what we did is you just simply click once, and it's going to change everything that has to do with this book. Okay? The other thing that I'm really passionate about, I feel like things need to look cool. And I think we all can relate to a lot of times assistive technologies look very orthopedic. Like when I was a kid, my dad let me pick out my own glasses, which was a big mistake because I had it's terrible. But I think glasses can be very cool, right? And so you can get stylish glasses or you can get big, huge, clunky glasses like I had as a kid. And so what I like about this e-text style is, we can make it look different. I actually made one for you guys here in Canada. I actually love Canada. I was married here in Canada, and so it always has a nice place in my heart. So I made this for you guys. Pretty good, huh? And I backpacked through Europe, and I know how much you guys like your flag. It's on every single backpack out there, right? There's no U.S. flags on any backpacks, by the way. So we can basically, change the style. Let's drink that a little bit. If I wanted, more of an elementary font, I could do something like this. And you guys can have a look. And there's lots of nice styles, different contrasts. Kind of like the old book look, too. Okay? Pretty easy. Nice some stars. All right? So we want to make it really easy to get books and then read them. Okay? Other questions? No? All right. Let me start from scratch. Okay? I'll just quit out of that, and I'll launch it one more time. So let's start from scratch. And I think I lost my internet connection. I was going to show you how I could read a web page, but I think I lost my internet connection.
Reload it, just went out and came back in.
Did it?
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh. You're all going to have to trust me on that. Take two. Just kidding. All right. Well, one of the things, yeah, so my wireless is down. But having this web browser in here, and I'll show you a little bit more about that if I can get this up and running. But also giving access to the web is going to be really important. And actually, Read Out Loud will be able to read anything online that you have up there. So if I do have a web page, I can just simply read it within Read Out Loud. I feel like that's really nice, especially if we get into our textbooks. A lot of times textbooks are really difficult to read, and having the internet there is a nice resource. A lot of times, as a student, you might be reading in a textbook and get stumped on a question. It's nice having the web here so I can go off on the web and find maybe easier readability of the text, so I could actually get that defined for me, and I could use some other resources. So hopefully I can get that going and I can show you that. All right. And while I do that, I'll show you one other tool. Hopefully we can get that going. Okay, so I wanted to show you one other tool, and that's the Classmate Reader. Are you guys familiar with the Classmate Reader? So here's another portable device. Okay, so I showed you the Intel Reader, which it's really nice because it captures all that e-text, okay, for you just by taking a picture. Now the Classmate Reader is a bit different because I can't take a picture and capture text. But if I have text in a format that's already accessible, I can use my Classmate Reader to read that text. I'll turn that on. That's what it looks like. Do you find somebody for the internet? Cool, thanks. All right. So this is my Classmate Reader, and so if I have text, walk this way. Cool. If I have text that I already have accessible, and actually this could be from my Intel Reader, okay? So I took the picture, and I can actually drag that text into my Classmate Reader. Why is this tool nice? Well, it's a lot more affordable than the Intel Reader. The Classmate Reader runs about $500. So it's about a third the price. You can probably get 4 of these for every Intel Reader. And if I put text on here, all I need to do is go to my Open Book. And I have an SD card on there that I can put my books on there. And I can basically go down and I can choose a file to read. Am I? Oh, thanks. My internet's up and running, so I can show you guys that. Okay. And it's kind of hard to see the screen. You'll have to trust me that the text is on the screen. And I can click play.
No, they play rough sometimes. Sometimes they like to kick and bite.
So it'll highlight the text as it goes along, and it'll read it out loud.
Their goals are very good goals, but when they grow up, they will only pull cards. So they will not learn any manners. You are different.
Okay.
You are well.
If I stop it, I also have some other tools, and I apologize that the screen's hard to see. Maybe if I did this. That didn't help either, did it? All right, never mind. I also have some tools, and what I like about this is I can go in here and I can highlight the text. I can get dictionary definitions. I can insert bookmarks and whatnot, so I can leave off on a place. We in the States we launched this, and I really one of my favorite things about this device is that I got a letter from an adult that was that bought one and started putting her text on these. And this reads DAISY files as well, or text files if you have them. So the same file format that this Intel reader gets. What's nice about those DAISY files as well, and why I'd recommend them, is when you have a screen that's this big, it's hard to navigate around a book if you have to scroll. The DAISY books have navigation built into them. So you can navigate by chapter, by sentence, by paragraph, by page, whatever you want to navigate by. That's why the DAISY books are nice. So I have this classmate reader, and we got a letter that I really love, and it was from an adult who has dyslexia, and she wrote to say that she really loved her classmate reader because it was the first time that she's ever been able to read a book at the beach, which I thought was really perfect. Because you're not apt to take your computer to the beach to read if you need a text reader to read it, but this is a nice little tool that you can sit on your blanket and read a book at the beach. So I thought that was really touching. A lot of times I don't even think about some of those things, you know, reading a book on the train, reading a book at the beach, and so these portable devices are really nice. Okay. Any questions on the classmate reader? No? All right. So my internet's up and running. Good, good, good. Okay. So when you launch Read Out Loud, I wanted to show you this, because our goal is to get you guys up and running right away. So if you just start with Read Out Loud and you launch it, you're going to come to this accessible books page. I want to get a lot more books up here, but I feel like it's a nice way to get you going really quickly. So to read The Call of the Wild, you know, I don't need to take a picture of it. I don't need to scan it. I have it online, and if I click on it, it's going to take me to that website. And these are all just web pages. Let me make the font a little bigger so you can see that. Okay. Now, I simply just click anywhere in that text. I go up to here and click my speaker tool.
Buck did not read the newspapers, or he would have known that trouble was brewing, not alone for himself, but for every tidewater dog, strong of muscle and with warm, long hair, from Puget Sound to San Diego. Because men groping in the Arctic darkness had found a yellow metal. Okay, and I can just simply read that. Now the other thing that I like, I've been talking a lot about textbooks and curricular material. The other thing I like about the web is that, by the way, your students don't want to read their textbooks and their curricular materials, and I don't care whether they have a reading disability or not. All right, they don't want to read it. But having the web, I really can use this to, develop the, love of reading. And to be honest with you, I actually like it, go to my sports page, okay? So I can go to ESPN.com, and I could read about how Boston blew it. I stopped watching the game. I thought it was over. It was 3-0. Can you guys believe that? All right. So I can come in here, and obviously because I have Read Out Loud, now if I had difficulty reading this text, I can either select it or I can highlight it. And I can click my speaker. Epic collapse on colossal comeback. Either way, Friday left Boston with too many bad memories. Joe McDonald.
Okay, and I can read my sports page. And I think this is a great, great tool, because don't underestimate getting your sports page and actually being able to read it, right? So get on here. I was actually in a school talking to some educators, and they were telling me how they were having a difficult time getting their students to use Read Out Loud, because they were using Read Out Loud. And I said, well, what are you having them read? Oh, they're textbooks. Is that all you're having them read? Meanwhile, there's a student right behind them in the computer lab who was reading his sports page using Read Out Loud. So I thought it was just a great example of just getting him into reading, reading his sports page, using Read Out Loud to do that. Okay. Any questions on that? You can pretty much go to virtually any website out there and have it read out loud. So that's another nice thing. If you are using websites, and there's lots of gems online that you can get and you can read. Okay, and I'll show you some more examples of that. Any questions on that? All right. So I showed you the get it, and I showed you the read it portion. The next thing I wanted to focus on is the learning aspect. We wanted to build in lots of learning tools into this product, because really listening to text, that's simply listening comprehension. And we really wanted a way to get the text, manipulate it, and learn from that text. And so I wanted to show you how that works. Let me just open a new...
Add text.
I'll open a new file.